Hey guys, Weir, roadtoroota.com. Good morning, Horn of Z's. I've already had my coffee. Um, Big day today. Going to have a discussion with Bill Holter, Jim Sinclair, Dave Kranzler, and Cliff High about cryptocurrencies and gold. And I think Bill wants to get into the gold in the Grand Canyon that he believes I just made up. I didn't make it up. I've done 3 years of research on it. But he doesn't know that. So that's another thing that we'll discuss, hopefully. I did read his writing that he said he dismissed me out of hand as a conspiracy theorist, which is really interesting. With conspiracy, that word conspiracy theory, it shuts people down almost instantly. Oh, it's a conspiracy theory, bang, end of story. You can't talk about 9/11, you can't talk about Sandy Hook, you can't talk about anything after those words come out. You can't even do the research or you're crazy. So, a conspiracy by definition is two people doing something illegal and hiding something and things like that. Is the gold in the Grand Canyon a conspiracy theory? I don't know. Here's the front page of the New York Times in June of 1912, right before the Federal Reserve was forced upon us. Tell of vast riches in the Grand Canyon. Men engaged in gold dredging operations expect to astonish the world. And it talks of billions of ounces in the Grand Canyon. Billions and billions of ounces. And remember, at the time, in 1910 or 1912, when this article was written, there was only about 120 million ounces of gold in circulation as money and about 200 million ounces circulating in central banks and treasury departments. So the talk of billions of ounces obviously must be a conspiracy theory. But here it is in all its glory, and talks about where it is, talks about the assessments that have been done, the amount of money that went into bringing the equipment into this part of the Grand Canyon that is almost inaccessible, and how it was done, how long it's taken. This is the year 3 of this operation, and it is literally going to change the world. Here's what the mine manager says: I don't know that I know that it will be difficult to comprehend that I have a correct conception of the wealth that is buried in the banks of the Colorado Canyon, he says, but I can demonstrate every statement I make to be absolutely true, and that my chief shortcoming is an inability to comprehend the vastness of the riches that lie along this great stream. At Lee's Ferry, there are mountainous deposits of marl silts that contain the wealth. Surmounting these is a sort of capstone formation that contains equal values. These harder formations, however, are a little more difficult to treat. It goes on and goes on. Exposed to sight are billions of yards of this silt containing more billions of dollars in wealth of precious metal than the human mind can possibly grasp in computation. He goes on and on to say there's billions of ounces that they're working with. Now, the question is, obviously, is this New York Times article from June 19th, 1912, if you go to roadtoroota.com, go to the resources tab on the left, you can pull up this article. As you can see, it's a direct from the New York Times website in their archives. And this was front page on June 19th, 2012. Question is this a lie or is it real? So what do you do after you hear something like this that would literally change the world, shake up the world, send the world into hyperinflation with adding 10 to 20 times the amount of gold into the system immediately? It would have been insane. And that's why I believe Woodrow Wilson, who was so anti-bank before, during, and after his administration, that's why he allowed the Federal Reserve to be created. But you got to do the research and do the homework. And don't just read it and say, no, this can't be true, which is what Bill is doing. So I did the research, and I've got court cases, documents, Supreme Court cases. This is absolutely true. And they absolutely spent all this money to build the infrastructure, and then they shut it down and turned it into the Grand Canyon National Park. And there has not been any mining allowed. Most of the Grand Canyon National Park is off limits to the vast majority of humanity. And I've done the homework. I know it's true. I've got newspaper articles. I've got court cases. I've got pictures. So it should be interesting, that part of the discussion. And then, the larger discussion of, is gold money? Is crypto's money? Which is better for use as money in the future? Can they both get along together? Can't we all just get along, type of thing? I think we can, but I don't think that the old gold bugs, anytime they hear anything that strays from their narrative that gold is money, always has been money, always will be money, they shut down. Absolutely shut down. They're not open to listening, not open to talking about it, not open to doing research. Right here in the front page of the New York Times, tell of vast riches in the Grand Canyon. Or Yamashita's gold. The research into Yamashita's gold is extensive. Peggy and Sterling Seagrave did an amazing job. And that was another thing why I left GATA back in the day. I showed them how the markets were rigged via computer program, and the Fed was doing it on purpose to hyperinflate the system and crash it. And they all poo-pooed me, and I went off and did my own thing and started the road to Ruta. Clearly, computer market rigging is now tip of the tongue, but back then it wasn't. It was 10 years ago, and everybody's like, no, the market, the trend, you can't beat the trend. You can only do short time. No, they can rig it forever. As long as they have the market on a computer program, trading derivatives back and forth, you can do it forever. It's very easy to do. It's a click of a mouse. That's why Steve Mnuchin was put as the head of the U.S. Treasury. His job at Goldman Sachs was head of IT, head of computer rigging at Goldman Sachs. So absolutely, it still goes on today. Anyway, quick rundown of Zero Hedge. I've been talking about this for a long, long time. Lolita Express, Jeffrey Epstein, the pedophile runner, shall we say, who had a pedophile island and flew this plane called the Lolita Express. It was secret, but the pilots were required to put the names of passengers on logs, and they did. And Bill Clinton went 20-something times. Hillary Clinton went like 10 times. Who was that? That's a couple of actors that are being exposed now as pedophiles were exposed as being on this plane, and yeah, that's what they did. I know Trump is also a friend of, or was an associate of, Jeffrey Epstein. There's no doubt in my mind that Epstein tried to get him hooked up with someone underage to use as blackmail. I don't know how far that went, and Trump didn't have his name on any of the manifests of the Lolita Express. But then again, Trump has his own helicopter and plane, so who knows? I don't know about that one. But it will be interesting, and I think having it hit the front page again is a clear sign that all this, the Hillary Clinton documents will come out. The 165,000 documents, videotapes, phone conversations on Anthony Weiner's laptop are about to be dumped. So that's very exciting. Let's see. The U.S. State Department plans to meddle in Hungary's democracy. We meddle in everybody's democracy. And that has been proven. Just read John Perkinson's book, Confessions of an Economic Hitman, and you'll get it. I mean, that was a bestseller book in the New York Times. Why doesn't anybody understand that we rig everybody's democracy? We rig elections all over the world. We overthrow governments. We assassinate leaders. I mean, this is not rocket science, my friends. Here's an interesting one. There's one thing preventing Elon Musk's vision from coming true, the laws of physics. Elon Musk is making huge claims that he's got these new batteries that are going to blow the world away, and 500 miles or 1,000 miles or 30,000 miles. Does he have that technology? I think he does. I think this is part of the new technologies that are going to be released to humanity when we're set free, hopefully over the next coming months, years. But some of those new technologies are absolutely about free energy. And Cliff High was talking about breakthroughs they've had in batteries that are like 300 times the capacity of what we have. Not 300%, but 300 times. And imagine that, sticking that in a Tesla car and having it run for, 10,000 miles on one charge, that type of thing. That's the new world we're leading into, my friends. Get ready for it. What else is exciting? I don't want to talk about Time Magazine. Let's talk about Bitcoin. There's got to be a Bitcoin in here. Where would it go? I thought I just saw it. Bitcoin. Bitcoin's on a roll. Cryptos are on a roll. Absolutely deserved. There it is. Bitcoin, Ethereum soared to new all-time highs, 10,000 in sight. We're already at 10,000 in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is Bitcoin SegWit plus Bitcoin Cash. In my mind, that's what Bitcoin is. So you've got Bitcoin SegWit 8,500 or whatever, Bitcoin Cash jumping up to 15 or 1,800. I think it's well over 10,000. So yeah, Bitcoin's already there. Ethereum's rolling up to 500. Gotta love that. And like I said, it's going to be the crypto year next year. So don't expect anybody who calls it a bubble, just send them my way. It's the most ridiculous thing I've heard in my life, calling the cryptocurrencies a bubble. Some of them that don't do anything. Is Bitcoin a bubble? No, it is a revolutionary technology that is changing the world. What should it be valued at? A lot higher than it's valued right now. And it's going to be. So don't believe me if you don't want to believe me. But, if you were, again, I love saying this, if you were an investor in Steve Jobs and Wozniak's company in the garage, and your investment went up thousands of % in a matter of years, is that a bubble? No. You saw a new technology that is going to change the world. You invested in it, and you're in the right place at the right time. That's what's going on with the cryptos. You saw a change in the way people are going to do business for the next 100 years. You invested in it, and it's going to go up and run and run and run. And if you pick the right things, you'll manage your way through any kind of volatility. There are a lot of these cryptos that'll go away. If there's no need for them, they'll go away. It's just the way things are. So not everything's going to go up, but the things that have a need, have a purpose for being there, should go up magnificently. And they are going up magnificently. I don't know if you guys have seen PPT, but this is the last call, by the way, for the Road to Ruta subscription, the private road. I've been giving away 1 silver Ruta coin and 1 PPT token. And PPT is now busted through $10. Is going to continue to run. So after this weekend, I'm not going to give any more PPTs away. I'll pick some other crypto to give away, but I want to hang on to all my PPTs. That's the Populist token, and I think that's going to be an absolute monster in the months and years to come. Again, they're coming to market with their product probably early 2018. Same with salt. Absolutely, get your hands on some salt, get your hands on some PPT. Because when these companies that have tokens that are useful come to market, that's when you're going to see the real excitement happen. And that's what's in store for us for 2018. And I just want to give an update. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. No Road to Ruta private road today, the Friday road trip, because I was at Thanksgiving having a vacation, much needed vacation. But we'll get back on it next week. And check out the Road to Ruta private road membership last weekend to get your PPT. This is Bix Weir, roadtoruta.com. I'll talk to you later.